Hello all, welcome to Paritranaya. In this class, we shall discuss about another important geography related topic, that is our country, India. So in this class, we will discuss about the important physical features associated with India. So when we look at India, we see that India is bounded by Himalayas in the north. Himalayas in the north. So here we find Himalayas in the north. Next, in the west we have Arabian Sea. So here we have Arabian Sea in the west. Next, in the east of India we have Bay of Bengal. In the east of India we have Bay of Bengal. Similarly, to the south of India we have Indian Ocean. So the next question that should arise is whether Himalaya is present only in India or across other countries as well. So already in the previous class we have discussed that Himalaya is spread not only in India but it is also spread across other countries as well. For example, Nepal, Bhutan, etc. But here the next question that we need to ask is whether across how many states of India has Himalaya spread? Okay, has Himalaya spread? So if you look here, so these are the states across which we find the span of Himalaya. So Himalaya region is present in Jammu and Kashmir. Next, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh. Next, Manipur, Nagaland, Mizoram, Tripura, Meghalaya. Okay. So totally 12 states, okay, 12 states or union territories. But now the Jammu and Kashmir has been divided into Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. So totally 13. So Himalayan range is spread across 13 states and union territories. 13 states and union territories. So from UPSC point of view, just the plain information about Himalayas would not be sufficient. So here they have not given extra information about the states and all in the book, but we have to explore that extra information from exam point of view. So why we have to explore? Here the previous year question papers will become a guide. If you look at 2017 or 18 question paper, we find a question wherein they have made a statement like Himalaya is spread across 5 states. Similarly, they have made a statement like Western Ghats is spread across 5 states. So in that context, only if you plainly read the NCERT, then that information would not be sufficient to answer such kind of difficult questions. That is why whenever we come across any mountain range, the first question that we need to ask to ourselves is across how many states that mountain range exists. So here we got to know that Himalaya is spread across 13 states and union territories. Okay, union territories. Next, out of curiosity, what we can ask is which are the coastal states? Means how many states of India have coastal boundary? So just out of curiosity, again this information you will not directly find in NCERTs, but we have to explore for more information. So when you explore for more information, you will understand that so India has 9 coastal states. So which are they? Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha. Next, somewhere we are missing 1, 2. Okay, here Goa is missing. Okay, it is 8, 9. So totally 9 coastal states. 9 coastal states. So out of curiosity, we need to know these things. 9 states. Now next question. What is the total area of India in terms of square kilometer? So UPSC may not ask a question on the area, but approximately we need to know about the area. So what is the area? Total area? Total area of India is 3.28 million square kilometer. 3.28 million square kilometer. Okay. So total area of India is 3.28 million square kilometer. So important point. Next, if you look at the distance from north to south and from east to west. So this is the vertical distance and this is horizontal distance from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and from Arunachal Pradesh to Kutch. So Kutch is located in Gujarat. So here from Arunachal Pradesh to Kutch. So this distance is 3,200 km. From north to south, distance is 3,200 km, and from east to west, so this distance is 2,900 km. So often we are curious, okay, what is that? Whether from north to south distance is more, or from east to west distance is more. So now these values will satisfy our curiosity. So we got to know that. So north to south, that extent is more. It is 3,200 kilometer compared to east to west, which is just 2,900 kilometer. Okay. So there is no significant difference. Hardly there is a difference of what? 300 kilometer. Okay, 300 kilometer. Next, when it comes to landforms, so already in the previous class we have discussed about the different types of landforms: mountains, plateaus, plains. So when it comes to India, so we have different diversity of landforms. We have diversity with respect to what? Lofty mountains. So lofty mountains means peak mountains. When it comes to Himalayas, they are what? Their height is what more compared to other mountains. So we have lofty mountains. Next, we also have desert. So later on we'll get what specifically see where exactly it is located. But in the western part of India, we have desert. Next, northern plains. So where exactly or what region we call it as northern plains, we shall see later on. But approximately northern plain is present somewhere over here. Next, we have uneven plateau surface, and we also have coasts. So already we have seen about the coastal states. So this is our coast, and we also have islands. So islands of Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So when it comes to landforms, so India exhibits diversity. Okay, India exhibits diversity in these forms: lofty mountains, great Indian desert, northern plains, uneven plateau, coasts, and islands. So all these different features we can find in India. So next, apart from this, we also find a diversity with respect to these things. So there is great variety or diversity with respect to climate. So what do we understand by climate? So the temperature or the pressure which is present in one part of the India might not be the same in other part of India. For example, the temperature which is present in Jammu and Kashmir may not be the same which is prevalent in Karnataka. So climate is different. Vegetation. The type of trees which grow here in Western Ghats might not be the same the type of trees which grow in Himalayas. So vegetation also, it is different. Now when it comes to wildlife, that is animals and what? Birds. So for example, now we know about what? One-horned rhinoceros. So one-horned rhinoceros is present in northeast, but it is not present in southern part of India. So this is diversity with respect to wildlife. Now language. So we know that in the southern side we have languages like Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, whereas in the northern side, so they speak Hindi, and there are many other languages as well. And in our constitution, there is a mention of 22 scheduled languages. So this speaks about the diversity of language. Next, when it comes to culture, an example of culture can be festival. So the type of festival which is celebrated in Gujarat might not be the same as that of one which is celebrated in Arunachal Pradesh. So there is diversity with respect to culture. But despite these above diversities with respect to climate, with respect to vegetation, with respect to wildlife, with respect to language, with respect to culture, okay, despite all these diversities, we find unity. So we are united as a nation. So this is a very important point. Okay. So despite such a diversity, we are united. Next, here, second most populous country after China. So in the book, it is mentioned that India is the second most populous country after China. But recently, current affairs, it says that UN has recently declared that India has overtaken China. It means India has the highest population as compared to China. Now you'll be confused because India has not officially declared it. So for time being, we shall not get confused over these things. Such confusing aspects will not be asked in examination. So assume either India is in first position or second position. Okay. Either it is first or second. Next, locational setting, very important. Now already in the previous class or previous few classes, we have discussed about the different features like equator, Tropic of Cancer, latitude, longitude and all. So when we are defining our country culturally, we may say that different types of religion exist in India. It may be Hinduism, it may be Islam, it may be Christianity. Okay, or with respect to language, we can say, so there exists Kannada, there exists Tamil, there exists Hindi. So this is language diversity and all. But when it comes to geographical definition of India, so again we have different geographical definitions, but here we will define India in terms of latitude and longitude. We will define India in terms of latitude and longitude. So already we are aware what is latitude, what is longitude. If at all you think that you are unable to comprehend, then I'll urge you to refer the previous video of latitude and longitude. So here there are two latitudes which bound India. Okay, there are two latitudes which bound India. So one latitude which bounds in the south and another latitude which bounds in the north. So which are these latitudes? So these latitudes are 8 degree 4 minutes north. This is 8 degree 4 minutes north, and this is 37 degree 6 minutes north. So the latitudes bounding India are 8 degree 4 minutes north to 37 degree 6 minutes north. Similarly, when it comes to longitudes, so this is the westernmost longitude and this is the easternmost longitude. Easternmost longitude. So what are these longitudes? So westernmost longitude is 68 degree 7 minutes what east. 68 degree 7 minutes east, because the global standard meridian lies in UK. So we already discussed about those things. So 68 degree 7 minutes east, and here the easternmost latitude is 97 degree 25 minutes east. 95 degree 25 minutes east. So do we need to know these values? Yes, we need to know these values. Okay. So from exam point of view, it becomes important. In the recent past, they are not asked, but probably they will ask a question. So very important, we have to memorize these values. So India is bounded by 8 degree 4 minutes north latitude and 37 degree north latitude. Similarly, when it comes to longitude, 68 degree 7 minutes east to 97 degree 25 minutes east. Okay, east. Next, if you look at the what longitudinal extent, so here it is what 68 degree 7 minutes, 68 degree 7 minutes, and here it is 97 degree 25 minutes. So if you look at this difference, it is approximately 29 degree. 29 degree. But why is this 29 degree significant? It is significant with respect to time. So in the previous classes we have discussed that there is no relationship between what latitude and time, but there is a relationship between longitude and time. Okay, longitude and time. We have also seen that Earth rotates from west to east. Okay, Earth rotates from west to east. So which part of the Earth will receive sunlight first? So eastern hemisphere will receive the sunlight first. So from that context, this 29 degree difference, this is very important. Why it is important? Because if you look at the Gujarat and Arunachal Pradesh, so which one will see sunrise first? So sunrise will be first witnessed by Arunachal Pradesh. Later on, sunrise will be witnessed by Gujarat. Okay, Gujarat. So that is why the local time of Arunachal Pradesh and the local time of Gujarat will be different. Okay, if sun rises at 6 o'clock in Arunachal Pradesh, then sun rises at 8 o'clock in Gujarat. Why? Because of the longitudinal difference of 29 degree. 29 degree. That is why when you look at the standard time, so we have adopted a standard time. So that standard time has to be followed by everyone. A person residing in Arunachal Pradesh as well as person residing in Gujarat. So they should not refer to local time, but rather they have to refer to standard time. So when it comes to standard time, and local time, so there is a gap of 2 hours. So what does it mean? It means as per the standard time, if sun rises at 6 a.m. here, then in Gujarat, when does sun rise? Sun will rise at 8 a.m. Okay, 8 a.m. So timing at what? Arunachal Pradesh, it is 2 hours ahead. 2 hours ahead, and here it is lagging by 2 hours. Okay, 2 hours. So that is why this longitudinal difference of 29 degree, it becomes important. Okay, important. So now I mentioned that we have adopted a standard time. So that is called as Indian Standard Time. Indian Standard Time. So this Indian Standard Time, we require a what? Reference point. Okay, reference point. So which line we have taken as a reference? We have taken what? 82.5 degree as a reference point. 82.5 degree as a reference point. So this is our what? Indian Standard Meridian. So this has been taken as a reference and it has been adopted as a standard time, and the same time has to be adopted throughout the country, whether it is Arunachal Pradesh or Gujarat. Okay, Gujarat. Now in this context, there is another information that becomes important. So what is that? So we saw about Tropic of Cancer. We already know about Tropic of Cancer, and in the previous classes we have also seen the countries through which Tropic of Cancer passes through. Now, from the India's context, we also need to know the states through which Tropic of Cancer pass through. passes through. So there are different important latitudes that we have discussed: Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, Equator, Arctic Circle, Antarctic Circle. Among these important latitudes, the only latitude that passes through India is Tropic of Cancer. Tropic of Cancer. So in this context, we need to know the states through which it passes through. So if you observe here, these are the various states through which it passes through. So which are the states? Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, next Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Tripura, and Mizoram. Through 8 states of India, Tropic of Cancer passes through. So in examination, they may pose a question like, through which of the following states do the Tropic of Cancer passes through? So in order to answer such kind of questions, we need to have this extra information and we need to retain it. Okay, retain it. Important. Similarly, as we saw with respect to Tropic of Cancer, we also need to know the states through which standard meridian passes through. So we already got to know that standard meridian is present at what degree? At 82.5 degree. 82.5 degree. But next question is, which are the states through which standard meridian passes through? So it passes through 1, Uttar Pradesh, 2, Madhya Pradesh, 3, Chhattisgarh, 4, Odisha, 5, Andhra Pradesh. Okay, even these states are important: Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, and Andhra Pradesh. Okay, Andhra Pradesh. Next, we'll move to India's neighbors. India's neighbors. So when it comes to India's neighbors, 7 countries, so they neighbor India. So one is Pakistan, Afghanistan, next China, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, and Myanmar. So with these 7 countries, we have a land boundary. Okay, we have a land boundary. But here comes the confusion. So even though I have shown here that India shares a land boundary with Afghanistan, but presently we cannot access this land boundary. Okay, because some part of the region here, it is under the control of Pakistan. We call it as Pakistan occupied Kashmir. So presently we do not have a direct land access route to Pakistan, to Afghanistan. So if at all we want to do any kind of business or trade with Afghanistan, then it has to take place either through Pakistan or through other means, that is through Iran. So in the current affairs, we'll read about many things like Chabahar port and all, so which India is building in order to establish connection with Afghanistan. So for a time being, we shall pause that discussion. So what we shall understand here is, so the neighboring countries are these countries. Okay, Afghanistan, Pakistan, China, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, and Myanmar. Next, apart from that, we also have one more neighboring country, Sri Lanka. But with Sri Lanka, we do not share a land boundary. Rather, we are connected through a narrow water channel. Okay, water channel, which is called as Park Strait, and which we will be discussing later on. So here, Park Strait. So Park Strait separates India from Sri Lanka. So what is a strait? Already we have seen in the previous class that any narrow channel of water, if it connects 2 large water bodies, then we call it as a strait. So here is one such water channel which connects 2 larger water bodies. Okay, so Bay of Bengal and what? Indian Ocean. So this we call it as Park Strait. Okay, Park Strait. Next, India's neighbors. So out of curiosity here, what you can do an exercise. What is that exercise? Among the 7 states, which country shares the largest boundary with India? Which country shares the largest boundary with India? So such kind of questions we have to ask to ourselves and find the answer to the same. So in this fashion, curiosity driven preparation itself will help us to clear the examination. So here, largest state in terms of geographical area. So which is the largest state in India with respect to geographical area? So it is Rajasthan. So Rajasthan is the state with the largest geographical area. So here in the book, they are not given about what? Population, but we should have that curiosity. If Rajasthan is the largest state in terms of geographical area, then which is the largest state with respect to population? So obviously we are aware it is Uttar Pradesh. The next question, smallest state in terms of geographical area, it is Goa. Goa is the smallest state in terms of geographical area. Again, you should ask a curiosity driven question. Which is the state with the least population or least populated state? It is Sikkim. Okay, so always our preparation should be curiosity driven, and if you look at the previous year pattern and all, most of the concepts they are taken from NCERT itself, but the information which is present in NCERT will not be sufficient. So we need to add some extra information based on our curiosity, and such curiosity driven preparation will definitely help us to excel in the examination. Next, physical divisions. So already we have seen about Himalayas across the various countries through which Himalaya has spread its wings. Next, also we have seen the various states across which what Himalaya has spread in India. Now next, within Himalayas there is a segregation. So some part we call it as what? Great Himalaya or Himadri. So the northernmost Himalayan ranges we call them as Great Himalaya or Himadri. Next, in the middle ranges, what we have, we call them as Middle Himalaya or Himachal, and the southernmost Himalayan ranges we call them as Shivaliks. So here, if you try to find information about in which all state is Great Himalaya spread, Himachal spread, and Shivalik is spread, so that probably it may lead to confusion. So let us not do that exercise here. So here we shall only know that when it comes to Himalayan mountain ranges, there are 3 mountain ranges. So the northernmost is called as Himadri, the middle one is called as Himachal, and the third one is called as, the southernmost is called as Shivalik. There are some important points related to them. So the world's highest peaks are located where? In Himalaya or Great Himalaya or Himadri. It means among the 3 ranges, so the northernmost range which is called as Himadri, here we will find the world's highest peaks. So we are already aware that Mount Everest is the world's highest peak. So if at all they ask you a question, where is Mount Everest located, whether in Himadri, Himachal or Shivalik, so we should be very easily able to answer this question, that Mount Everest is present in Himadri. Next, popular hill stations are present in Himachal. So most of the tourists, they prefer what? Hill stations. And if at all you are suggesting someone to go to a hill station, so which is the region that you would suggest? Definitely you would suggest Himachal, because Himachal hosts popular hill stations. Okay? And the southernmost one is Shivalik. And the forthcoming classes will also be discussing few other important aspects related to Himalayas, but for time being this much information would be sufficient. Next, northern Indian plains. Okay, northern Indian plains. So here we have just a rough idea that we call it as northern Indian plains. So here, whenever we are getting confused, we should go for extra information. So what is it, extra information? So here you will find. So generally this area we refer to it as northern Indian plain. There is no exact demarcation, but roughly this part we call it as northern Indian plain. So these northern Indian plains, they are formed of alluvial deposits. So very important. So a question might be asked, so what kind of deposits can we find in northern Indian plains? Alluvial deposits. Next, so these deposits have been brought down by which rivers? Indus River, Ganga River and Brahmaputra River. So whenever in NCERT we come across any kind of rivers, we should not be satisfied with the information which is available there. So you should ask an extra question. So Indus, through which all state Indus flows through? So for time being we shall not focus on tributaries, because we will be reading a separate topic on rivers and tributaries and all. But whenever a river occurs, so we need to ask a question to ourselves, through which all state Indus flows through. So here we will understand that through what? Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Okay, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Similarly, when it comes to Ganga, it flows through 5 states. Okay, which are those 5 states? So Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal. Next, when it comes to Brahmaputra, 2 states, Arunachal Pradesh and Assam. Okay, so at least the basic information you should be able to connect whenever a river appears. Okay. So next, these northern Indian plains, they are fertile land for cultivation. So as the plains are being deposited with what? Alluvial deposits, so these lands are fertile, and that's why they are used for cultivation, and that is why northern plain is we have a high concentration of people here. Okay, because of the fertile lands and cultivation. Okay, important point to note. Next, here. So here we are able to see what? Many mountain ranges. For example, it may be Aravalli range, or it may be Vindhyas range, or it may be Satpuras, or it may be Western Ghats, or Eastern Ghats or Great Indian Desert. But here we do not get a clear-cut idea. If I ask you through which all states is Aravalli spread? Okay, Aravalli is spread across how many states? We will not be able to answer with the help of this. So here, whenever any range appears, as I already mentioned, we need to know about the states. We need to know about the states across which it spreads. Okay, so here we need to have that extra information. Similarly for this Great Indian Desert. So now, based on this, what we shall do? We shall try to add some extra information. Now this is our Great Indian Desert. So Great Indian Desert, we know that it is present in western part of India. But exactly in this western part of India, through across which all states it has spread? So it has spread across 4 states of India. One is Gujarat, Rajasthan, Haryana and Punjab. But the major part of Great Indian Desert, it lies in the state of Rajasthan. And this desert, it's dry, it's hot and it's sandy, and also we find very little vegetation. Because of the climatic conditions which are prevalent there, and because of the sand, there is no soil. So that is why very little vegetation. Okay, very little vegetation. Similarly, peninsular plateau. So what is peninsular plateau? Okay. So this part of India, we call it as peninsular plateau. So here, various ranges have been mentioned. So as I already told, when it comes to ranges, we also need to know about the states. So let us try to mark them. Now, when it comes to Aravallis, so Aravallis is spread across 4 states and union territories. Aravallis, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Haryana, Delhi. So Aravallis is spread across 4 states. Okay. So we should be able to mark these things on the map. Similarly, when it comes to Vindhyas is mentioned, Satpuras is mentioned. So when it comes to Vindhyas, it is spread across 5 states. So Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar. So Vindhyas is spread across 5 states. Next, when it comes to Satpuras, so Satpuras is spread across 4 states. So which are they? Gujarat, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh. So Satpuras is spread across 4 states. So in this fashion, if we are able to mark the ranges, then during examination, we'll be able to recall the things very confidently, and we'll be able to mark the questions correctly. Okay, and definitely to enhance our score. Similarly, when it comes to Narmada and Tapi, so these rivers are mentioned. So here we'll not focus on tributaries, but at least we shall focus on the states through which Narmada and Tapi pass through. So what we'll do? So Narmada, Madhya Pradesh, next Maharashtra and Gujarat. So this is Narmada. Okay. Similarly, when it comes to Tapi, what I will do? Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat. So this is our Tapi river. So if you look at Narmada and Tapi, which one lies towards the north? So Narmada lies towards the north and Tapi river lies towards the south. This much information will be sufficient, and we have already seen that both the rivers, they pass through Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra and Gujarat. Okay, Gujarat. Next, both these rivers, they drain into Arabian Sea. So here we have Arabian Sea. So these rivers, they flow into Arabian Sea. Okay, Arabian Sea. So next, similarly, we will see about what Western Ghats or Sahyadris. So Western Ghats, they are also called as Sahyadris. So already a question has appeared on Western Ghats, probably in 2017 or 18, wherein they have asked that they have framed a question like this: Western Ghat is spread across 5 states. But whether it is spread across 5 states? No, it is spread across 6 states. So which are those 6 states? Gujarat 1, Karnataka 2, Goa 3. Sorry, it's Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu. So this information is important. We need to have this information. So this is about what? Western Ghats or Sahyadris. Similarly, when it comes to Eastern Ghats, so across which all state it is spread? Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and some part of Eastern Ghats extend into Telangana as well as Karnataka. So this is about Eastern Ghats. Okay, Eastern Ghats. So next question, which is more continuous, Western Ghats or Eastern Ghats? So the more continuous is Western Ghats. Okay, Western Ghats compared to Eastern Ghats. So Eastern Ghats is broken in between. Okay, in between there is a space available. Okay, next, in general, this peninsular plateau is rich in minerals like coal and iron ore. Coal and iron ore. Again, the forthcoming classes we will be discussing in detail about the minerals and all, but at a superficial level, we will understand that. So peninsular India is rich with respect to what? Minerals like coal and iron ore. Okay, iron ore. Next, coastal plains. So what are coastal plains? So here, this is our coastal. So this is our coast. This is our coast. Now, let us assume. So this is our what? Western Ghats. Let us assume this is our Western Ghats. Similarly, let us assume this is our what? Eastern Ghat. Eastern. This is Western Ghat. This is Eastern Ghat. So the space which is available between this coast and Western Ghat, this we call it as Western Coastal Plains. Similarly, the space which is available here, we call it as Eastern Coastal Plains. Eastern Coastal Plains. Now, which one is narrower, Western Coastal Plains or Eastern Coastal Plains? So here we will get to know that the space here, it is very narrow. So this is very narrow. Okay, where narrow compared to this, it is broader. So Eastern Coastal Plains are broader compared to Western Coastal Plains. Even this point is very important from exam point of view. Very important from exam point of view. Next, in the same context, so here we come across what? 4 rivers: Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri. Again, we will be discussing a separate topic called as drainage system, wherein we will be discussing about the various rivers and their tributaries. But here, as these rivers have appeared, again, the question that we need to ask to ourselves is, which are the states through which these rivers pass through? So based on this curiosity driven exercise, we'll understand that. So Mahanadi passes through Chhattisgarh and Odisha. So Mahanadi, Chhattisgarh and Odisha. So this is Mahanadi. This is Mahanadi. Okay, Mahanadi. Next, when it comes to Godavari, it is Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and next Odisha. So this is what? Godavari. This is Godavari River. Godavari River. Next, Krishna, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh. So this is Krishna River. This is Krishna River. Next, when it comes to Kaveri, again we'll ignore here tributaries. So Kaveri River, what? It flows through Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. It is about Kaveri River. Kaveri River. So they have formed fertile deltas. So what are deltas? Deltas at their mouth. What do we understand by deltas? So all these various rivers, they form deltas. So whenever a river joins ocean or sea, so it will not directly join. For example, if this is an ocean and this is a river, directly it will not join like this. So before joining, it will split into various small parts. Okay, various small parts, and the area will appear something similar to this. So this area we call it as delta. Okay, this area we call it as delta, and there are famous deltas as well, of which we will be seeing later on. Okay, so all these east flowing rivers, they create delta. Okay, they create delta. And one more reason for the formation of these delta is because the eastern coast is broader compared to what? Western coast. That's why in west flowing rivers we will not witness delta, but when it comes to east flowing rivers, we will witness delta. We will witness delta. Next, among them, the famous one is Sundarban Delta. So where is Sundarban Delta? So it is at the confluence of what? Ganga and Brahmaputra. So here we have Sundarban Delta. So Sundarban Delta is present in this region. So again, here we came across again Ganga and Brahmaputra. So we have already seen. So Ganga is spread across. So the main Ganga river flows through these 5 states: Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal. Similarly, when it comes to main Brahmaputra river, ignoring its tributaries, it flows through Arunachal Pradesh and Assam. Arunachal Pradesh and Assam. Next, we have seen different landforms like mountains and plains. Now next we shall discuss about islands. So whether India has islands? Yes. Lakshadweep Island. So where is Lakshadweep Island present? In Arabian Sea. So here we have Lakshadweep Island in Arabian Sea. Next, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So where they are present? They are present in the southeast of the Indian mainland. So Andaman and Nicobar Islands, they are present over here. They are present over here. Next, we come across a term called as Coral Islands. Okay, so Coral Islands, where they are present? They are present in Lakshadweep. Okay. So what are Coral Islands? We shall discuss later on. So Coral Islands are formed of what? Corals. Okay, corals. So we shall see about them later on. Next, in this context, some information which has been mentioned, it becomes important. So tsunami. So what is tsunami? So generally we have different types of waves, but a very large wave, a very huge wave is called as tsunami. And one such tsunami which had affected India in 2004, and it caused what? Huge damage. Okay, huge damage. So why is tsunami caused? Tsunami is generated due to an earthquake which takes place underneath the water. Okay, on the floor of the ocean, because of that earthquake, so tsunami takes place. So this was about the important physical features of India. So in this class we discussed about the physical features of India. Similarly, in the subsequent classes we will be discussing important topics related to UPSC. For all our further updates, subscribe to our channel and hit on the bell icon. Thank you.